biggest opportunity of his life at Xavier, L-O-N-G-G. He's been a natural athlete throughout his life. He's received Division I scholarship football offers. But it was the loyalty test that made him go viral, even led to him being highlighted by Vice. He's been training for this fight for most of this year, but it is his first fight. And he actually initiated the fight after Ochoa contacted him about collaborating on a social media video. Long said, wait a minute, you're holding some titles. I think I'm good enough to challenge. And that has led us to this very moment. And the champ is here. And his intent is to put on a thriller. Albert Ochoa, find him at Albert Ochoa 05. Stepping inside the ropes once again, won the title by defeating Marcus Portilla back in February at IFL 5, trained by four-time world champion Joel Casamayor, a gold medalist in the 92 Olympics. His inspiration, his uncle Tony the Tiger Lopez, a three-time world champion. You want to talk about someone who has the pedigree, who has the ability, who wants to have a professional career. Look no further than the king, Albert Ochoa.
The following contest is your main event. Championship Boxing North American Super Welterweight Championship. Introducing first, the challenger in the blue corner, trained in Battle Tank Boxing Gym, fighting from Birmingham by way of Yorkwood, Alabama. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighs in at 147.4 pounds. He is the X-Man, Xavier Long. And his opponent in the red corner, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighs in at 148.7 pounds. He is the Influencer Championship Boxing North American Super Welterweight Champion. He is King Albert Ochoa.
The stage is set.
All right, guys, this is the main event. Give me a clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself.
Ochoa won the titles back in February. There's been plenty of talk leading up to this moment. A lot of that's, oh wow, Long is rapid fire to start this fight. Certainly going to be the less technical of the two fighters. That is one thing we could say for sure, Jack.
That's why I think it's so smart that Long is coming out that way with so much fire, because he's not going to outbox Albert Ochoa. He's not going to be able to outbox him. So what does he have to do? He said from the beginning, he is an athlete, and he's going to try to rely on that and lean on that, and I think that's the only way he's going to get a win.
You could see he's lightning quick. He is a tremendous athlete. You spoke to both of them before, and, you know, Long was very vocal.
Yes.
Maybe trying to get inside the head of Ochoa.
Yeah, he has no lack of confidence, for sure. Even though he has not been boxing nearly as long as Ochoa has, not scared to get in there and throw hands, as we see. And I'm liking this game plan from Xavier Long. I'm liking the fact that he's coming out of the gate hot and trying to get a win. Of course, Ochoa, he loves to box and move, box and move. If Long stays on top of him, it kind of controls the game there.
Sure, not the first time everyone has been standing tonight. Makes it a little more difficult for us to see the ring action, but here we are.
But that's just because it's such an exciting matchup. It's such a big-time matchup for these two. Everyone at ringside is on their feet.
Thus far, Ochoa really just trying to read and be patient. Nice right hand lands there. But it's been Long really charging in for much of this first round.
And that's why I think the longer this goes, the more it favors Ochoa. I think the longer Ochoa has to work out his game plan, the longer he has to let Long maybe lose some of that gas, some of that athleticism that sets him apart, the more it plays into Ochoa's plans.
That'll do it for the first round, and both of these fighters look to be in amazing physical condition.
Yeah, both of these guys really took this seriously, but I got to say my favorite thing about this whole thing so far, Albert Ochoa coming out to Thriller. I don't know if you noticed the footwear.
Yes.
But a little MJ inspired.
Definitely a showman, there's no doubt about that. Speaking of showman, how about Knick-Knack Paddywhack with a first-minute knockout of Big Sam? I mean, not only does Paddywhack know how to make an entrance, he knows how to leave the people smiling.
Yeah, for as much as I love the fashion of Ochoa's shoes, the entrance attire of Knick-Knack Paddywhack may have stole the show, but what a jerk Knick-Knack Paddywhack was. It didn't even give you a chance to sit down and enjoy your commentary.
Not at all, but credit to Big Sam for accepting the fight and coming out strong as well, as we are ready for round 2 of this championship fight. ICB and IFL North American Super Welterweight titles on the line. Ochoa, the champion, in the red. Long, the challenger, in the white. And now the question is, what kind of and you see Long starting off round 2 just like he did round 1, just charging in with a flurry.
Yes, swinging as often as he can. Again, I think it's a smart move. He knows that he's not going to be able to do all of the more technical stuff, so just rely on that athleticism, rely on the cardio, rely on the strength. Let Ochoa try to use his game plan, but Long just going forward and swinging.
You look at earlier tonight, Juju Ramos was the aggressor in his fight, ended up winning the title via decision. It was pretty obvious Coach Progressor was the more technical fighter, but he just wasn't doing enough, perhaps, in 2 of the judges' eyes. Thus, Juju Ramos came away with the title. Maybe Xavier Long's strategy is similar.
Yeah, I mean, if he had the opportunity to watch in the back, then I'm sure he's probably focused on his own match. But if he heard the results or had heard anything in the back, maybe he knows that these judges are rewarding the aggression.
Under a minute to go in round 2 here.
Halfway through. Ochoa, do you think that he maybe needs to show a little bit more aggression on his side? I mean, he hasn't done anything wrong. He's boxing well, but would you like to see a little bit more out of him?
Depending on how the next 35 seconds go, I would say yes. In round 3, I think the judges are going to have to see a little more aggression, a little more dictating the pace on Ochoa's part, in my personal opinion.
The short fights really change this a lot. If this is a longer fight, I would say this is going great for Ochoa. Well, maybe not that flurry there, but I would say Ochoa is doing a great job. But because it's such a short set of rounds, Long, though, leaning on the ropes.
Well, Long has had numerous bursts of energy throughout these first 2 rounds.
And
that'll do it.
And you're always sending messages to the judges, and something that maybe Xavier Long, that hasn't been a boxer as long, is doing is you're starting to see he's telegraphing how tired he is. And I think if I'm his coach right now, if I'm in his corner, I'm saying even if you're tired, you can't show how tired you are.
And obviously, Xavier Long is in amazing condition, but when you get inside that ring, the adrenaline and the amount of energy you have to use, those 2 rounds can feel like an eternity.
Oh, yeah. Sitting out here, 2 minutes seems like nothing, but when you're in there and you're getting hit and you're trying to hit and everyone's watching you and you got hot lights blasting on you, it's a totally different ball game.
And while we have a chance, thank you to our sponsors once more. Pro Boxing Supplies, proboxing.com, Man Butter, StayDryMen.com, Cinco de Mayo, RimDip.com, and El Cristiano Tequila, el-cristiano.com, as round 3 is underway.
Final round of the entire event.
It's been a night, hasn't it?
It's been an interesting night, to say the least.
I'll tell you, Xavier Long's strategy has not changed. Every round begins with him charging in and just swinging for the fences.
But I think it's really, really smart. I don't know if it'll get him the win. We'll have to see how the judges look at it, or if it ends before then. But he knows he's not. Like I said, it keeps saying he knows he's not going to get the blocks and the dodges and all the other technical stuff.
But a left lands by Long, and Ochoa's having a difficult time countering this because it really is kind of rapid-fire chaos.
Right. I almost wonder if the chaos of a Long is harder for Ochoa to deal with than another boxer who wants to try to box.
Well, you never know what's going to happen in IFL.
And Ochoa, again, I think, as I said before, if this was 12 rounds, I would say Ochoa is doing a fantastic job. I would like to see him try to get a little bit more offense in, though. Again, it hasn't done anything wrong. I just don't know if he's done anything to wow judges at this point. On the same token, Long making it very clear he's tired, leaning on the ropes.
Ooh. But it's not stopping him from firing away. Now, a lot of the shots are missing wildly, but he has landed some.
And they're big hits when he throws them as well.
Ooh, Long is really laboring right now, but he continues to. And Ochoa, the question is it going to be enough? Because Ochoa's not exactly.
He's kind of letting Xavier Long dictate his own fate, I think, where Ochoa's just sort of he's surviving. We'll see how it played out.
This is going to be a very interesting decision. Xavier Long was the aggressor, but did the technique and skill of Ochoa do enough to lead him to a title defense?
Of action, your winner by split decision, and still the ICB North American Super Welterweight Champion, Albert Ochoa.
Well, split decision. Tremendous performance by Xavier Long, but congrats to the champ, Albert Ochoa. For everyone at Influencer Fight League, thank you for joining us live.